At Kibbutz Nir Oz, a quiet haven where 400 farmers lived until, inconceivably, a quarter of the population was kidnapped by Hamas snatch squads, post photographer Roland Hoskins and I encountered sights we wished we had never seen. In-house with a colorful children's playhouse in the garden and small toys everywhere. There was an upside-down children's bed right next to large, thick pool of frozen blood. There was a disgusting smell of death in the air, thick with buzzing flies. And I almost vomited. Elsewhere, a 6-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy are kneeling, heads bowed and their hands tied behind backs, on other side of dinner table, where family feast was being prepared. Father and mother, their stiff bodies were in same position. It gets worse. According to testimony of the rescue workers who found them, family was subjected to torture, missing fingers and one eye removed. Each of them was executed by one bullet. And then Hamas savages put the Shabbat meal on table. A house of terror. Sam Greenhill visits Kibbutz Nir Oz to witness first-hand carnage left in the wake of Hamas' deadly attack on peaceful farming community. In the garden of one of the houses there is a colorful children's playhouse surrounded by small children's toys. An Israeli flag waves among the clutter. Daily Mail chief correspondent Sam Greenhill was photographed at scene of the attack on Kibbutz Be'eri, 4 kilometers from Gaza border, on Saturday, October 7. These were the last brutal moments of a kibbutz family, according to civilian volunteers who helped retrieve the bodies. Read stranded in Gaza. Hundreds of foreign passport holders hoping escape Egypt are not allowed cross the border as Israeli tanks line up enter besieged Palestinian territory after Hamas attacks. UK 8TR News None Article Other MPU Factbox. HTML. IDMPU Factbox 1. I've heard many scary stories here recently. And the fact that this is so shocking after 2 weeks of relentlessly heartbreaking stories shows how deeply traumatized this country is from the atrocities of October 7. Yossi Landau has 30 years of experience with Zaka, a volunteer civilian group whose members assist ambulance crews in identifying victims of terrorism, traffic accidents and other disasters, and collect body parts for proper Jewish burials when necessary. His voice shook as he described bad dream of how he and his comrades went to the Be'eri kibbutz. After there, Mr. Landau, 55, said the first house we saw was a couple consisting of father and mother. They were kneeling on the ground, heads bowed, their hands tied behind backs. On other side of the dining room, a 7-year-old boy and possibly a 6-year-old girl were sitting in same position, their hands tied behind their backs. Mr. Landau, who has 22 grandchildren, said the bodies showed signs of torture. Body parts were missing. One of his eyes has just been removed. His fingers. His voice trailed off. And in the end they all had a bullet. Tormented by terror, he began.